Yo, what it is, what it do, and what's good with you, fam? This is your host here, Power the Hip Hop Arson. And in today's episode, you're going to hear a lot of thunder. You're going to hear a lot of lightning, possibly, because it's a storm going down right now as I'm recording. But, I just want to say that really quickly, before we get into what this episode is about, I know it's probably some people out there that's been wondering like where I've been for the past week or so, but had some things going on. Grandmother passed away, you know what I'm saying? And just been dealing with family and all of that other good stuff, but I still gotta stay on my game. I still gotta stay on my grind. You feel what I'm saying? It's like I was talking about last week in the overview of the 5 W's, which we're gonna start covering them individually today. Your why has to be something that makes you stronger for your business, not something that takes away from it. You know what I mean? And this is something that definitely is stronger because it's a celebration. It's a homegoing for a very special person who meant a lot to me and meant a lot to my family and taught us so many things. So I just really want to let y'all know about that, what's going on or whatnot. But like I said, your boy is still here dropping that good information and I'm still going to keep it pushing. You feel what I'm saying? So in today's episode, we're going to cover the first W. Now, last week I told you we gave you the overview of all 5 of them last week, right? But this week I'm going to break it down individually. We're going to start off with the what. And I know a lot of people think they know what is, but it's something that you might not fully understand. And we're going to make sure that you do by the time that this episode is over with. So before we go any further, as always, drop that intro.
This is the power of the hip-hop, a brand new movement, and we keeping your ears locked. Your game won't be the same after hearing what we got. With inspiration and info to make your career pop. The music is top-notch, the artists, they stay hot. Keep your head jumping like some rainbow flip-flops. Do it for the love, it won't stop until you a big shot. Without further ado, here is your crew with the top spot. Yeah, this is the power of the hip-hop. This is the power of the hip-hop. This is the power of the hip-hop. This is the.
Hey, what it do? So we back. Has anybody been following what's going on with this whole Drake say he ready to battle Eminem? I don't know. You know what I mean? I ain't even really gonna touch on that. Would I like to see it? Possibly. I mean, both of them are proven, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's something I would definitely enjoy seeing. I ain't even going to sit here and lie to you, you know what I mean? I kind of got excited when I first seen the news, but, I ain't going to stick on that subject right there. We're going to jump straight into this first W, the what. Now, I know when you hear what, probably you've heard the terminology given to you need to know what you're going to sell. You need to know what your target audience is and who you're marketing to and all of that stuff, so you can get into other aspects of business and other ways of growing your business and really accelerating and making sure that your marketing dollars and the money that you're putting into advertising and promoting is actually going to great places and to good uses. But here's the reason why I start with the W, what, out of the 5 is because when it comes to what, there's a lot of things you need to consider. And this is going to lay down the foundation. It's going to be a part of laying down the foundation for really starting off on a strong business, really starting something that is going to be an empire by the time you're finished with it. And what that takes is not just knowing what your target audience is going to be and what you're going to sell, but what is the reason behind wanting to become an entrepreneur? This is a question that you should ask yourself. If you haven't asked yourself this before and you've already started business, it's okay. But it is a question that you need to ask yourself and get the answer to. What is it that drives you to be an entrepreneur? Is it because you're tired of your current situation? Is it because you want to have more freedom? You want to have the luxury to do things on your own terms, on your own accord, and in your own time? What is the reason that you really want to do what you are doing? And not only that, what part of the music game are you going to be in, or what part of advertising or online business or whatever it is that you're trying to do, what part of that are you going to be in? Because you need to figure out this answer to this question, because the more specific you can get, the more you'll know where to put your energy. You'll know where to focus. And the more focus you can put in on one section, the quicker you'll master that area. And once you master that area, you are now a specialist for that particular thing. So for example, if your goal is to become a great music artist, your specialty should only consist of writing music and recording music. You shouldn't be trying to be a producer and make beats and be an engineer and mix and master and all of this other stuff. You should be focused purely on making great music. And that means writing a song if you have to every day. It doesn't have to be something that goes onto a beat, but write something. Build your lyrical prowess. You know what I mean? Build your skill up to a level that is matched or equal or better, you know what I mean, than what's out here currently. You have to do that. That's just one of the things that comes with it. If you're wanting to be a producer, and when I say a producer, in this sense of the word, I'm not even going to use the word producer, because I'm not talking about a full-on producer, because there is a difference. I'm talking about a beat maker right now. If you're wanting to be a beat maker who your beats are bought, purchased, sold to some of the best artists out, whether it's underground, whether it's mainstream, whether it's both, you should focus on making your beats and finding your sound, getting a quality to your sound. And that consists of a lot of things, like finding what sounds work well together, finding out chords and learning keys and scales, and really figuring out different drum patterns, how you can put your unique spin on different things, how to sample, because you have to start from the origin, the origination of hip hop or music in general. And it starts from learning how to manipulate with live instrumentation. You don't have to be a great pianist or a great guitarist or a great saxophone player. You don't have to be anything spectacular on any instrument, but you need to get used to the feel of what it was like before all of the technology, because that hands-on approach of really digging into what it takes to make real music is something that you can't find anywhere other than the experience of doing. And what I mean by that is, like, a lot of times people use and rely so heavily on the machinery as producers, as beat makers. They rely so heavily on the machinery and the ability to quantize and things like that, that it loses the natural feel. That's why if you've ever been in a position where you couldn't quite figure out, why can't I make a sound that feels as natural as what I hear on the radio, as what I hear from the old 80s and 70s tracks? Why can't I get that sound, that feel? And it's because that was live instrumentation. So you have to become fluent in your machinery. Your goal is to master your equipment. It's not about buying new keyboards as soon as, Akai drops a new one. It's not about buying a new drum machine every time, Native Instruments or the new MPC comes out. These are just things that are luxuries, you know what I mean? But what you have is all you need. It's all you need. When I first started making beats, I kid you not, I started with a mouse and a keyboard. That was it, and a pair of headphones. That's where I made my beats at. And then once I got to the position where I could purchase my first MIDI keyboard, my first keyboard in general, I grew in the knowledge that I had, because I had a skill and I was able to learn things that I couldn't otherwise learn. And that came from getting something that I could get hands-on with. So as a producer, you should focus on being a producer, being a beat maker. Make your beats. Do that craft. I know some days you might feel like you don't want to do it. I put it to you this way. If it's a day that you feel like you don't want to do it, work on speed creating. And what that means is you go in with no intention of really focusing on making perfection. You just want to make something. You want to get some type of creativity out. Make a beat and get in the habit of not just making a beat, but finishing that beat and mixing that beat down. Once you do this, you'll get used to the entire process of what your job is and what you're out to master. Once again, once you get this mastered, now you can branch off into other things because you have this sound mastered. Now you can branch off if you want to into creating your own sounds because you've put so much time into doing this and learning how to create the sounds that you want and how to do the things that you want to do with the music. You've learned how to manipulate it so well that now you can start doing that for other people. You can start creating loops and drums and different synths and all kind of stuff for other people because you've put that time in and you've earned that right to have that title, to have that crown. You did that. So now, you know what I mean? You're able to go out and adventure and open up your avenues for revenue. So this is what I mean by be specific. If you're going to be an artist, focus on your music. If you're going to be a beat maker, focus on your beats. If you're going to be a producer, here's the thing about a producer, okay? A producer is not a beat maker. Let's get that understood first and foremost, because there are a lot of producers out there who never made a beat, and they're great producers. A producer is someone who can produce a quality product from the tools that he has. Now, his tools may consist of bands, artists, engineers. His tools may consist of instruments. His tools may consist of drum pads and machines and different computers and different microphones to create different sounds. That's what a producer does. The name producer from produce is meaning to put together, being able to take a whole lot of separate objects, put them together, and make something of great quality. That's a producer. If that's what you plan on doing, then do it in the form and the mindset of a producer. For example, if you know a great beat maker, get that great beat maker with a great artist that you know. Put those two together and create and produce a great track. This is what it means to be a producer. But you need to master this quality. And once again, once you master this quality, you're going to learn so many things with inside of that that's going to be impossible just to be contained in that box. Now, where you want to go after that, that's totally up to you. I can't really say, you know what I mean? But that's what you need to do. That's one of the strongest things about a what. And when you're starting out, first of all, is knowing why, what it is that you're doing that makes you want to create your business first and foremost. And then what is it that you're going to specifically be focused on in your beginning years, in your beginning time of getting this thing started and getting it built and everything like that. What is your main focus going to be? So further than that, you need to think about what is it that you need in order to stand out? What is it going to take in order for your music, your sound, your quality, your whatever, the way you sound vocally, the way your beats sound, the specific instruments that you use? Maybe you have some specific instruments that you've modulated and tweaked a little bit to your own liking, and it's unique to you. What is it that's going to set you apart? You need to have your competitive edge. And though a lot of people teach that you shouldn't focus on competition, because when you focus on competition, you always end up losing because you can't be on top forever. So, you know, you definitely want to focus on creativity, but there is always going to be an element of competitiveness, especially in a game like hip hop and a game like music in general. No matter what genre it is, there's always going to be a level of competition. And the reason is because the thing that you love to do, there are hundreds, there are thousands, there are tens of thousands, probably even hundreds of thousands of people in this world who enjoy that same passion that you have. And the truth be told about it is that there are probably that amount of people that are out there willing to go harder, willing to go longer, willing to do more, and willing to put in more groundwork and hard work and time than you are. So you have to remember that every second that you waste on doing something that is not productive for what you're trying to become, what you want to be, what you want to be known for, somebody else is capitalizing on that time and you're falling farther and farther behind. So just keep that in mind. These are the things, see, it's way deeper than just the surface level, because a lot of people tell you not from square one. They don't tell you from square one. They start you off in the middle of the rat race. They start you off in the middle of the entire fight for freedom, so to speak. And they tell you that you need to focus on this type of customer. You need to focus on this, and that, and the third. You know what I mean? But in all honesty, before you do all of that extra stuff, before you do that, you need to have the basics, like your main focuses. You need to come in. I put it to you this way. I'll give you a prime example. Whenever a football team or a basketball team or whatever sport, soccer, whenever this team is preparing for their opponent the week before, or however much time is in between, we'll just say it's a week before, they study the film of their opponents. And what they do is find the weaknesses of their opponents, whether it's the run game, whether it's the defense, whether it's the offense. You know, they find those weaknesses and they practice to strengthen themselves in the areas that the opponent is weak in. It's a game of chess. And these are the things that, knowing your what and your whys and your who and all of that stuff, these are the reasons why these 5 W's are so important, because this is your practice before you go face to face with your opponent. This is your practice. This is your trial. This is your grind time, so to speak. This is where you put your work in, and we're going to see come Friday night when them lights come on who really put in more work. This is where you do that. This is where you're going to build your strength at. So make sure that you're doing all of these things. All right. Next thing I want to touch on for when it comes to your what. Maybe you've passed the point of beginning. Maybe you've passed the point of just getting started or getting into the game, so to speak, of music, and you want to know what's the next step that you should take. A question that you should always ask yourself constantly, no matter how far along in the game you are, the question that you should always ask yourself is, what's working and what's not working? Very simple questions. Few people utilize these simple questions. And I'm going to show you how easy that these questions can help you build your business and grow. If you ask yourself what's working, what's not working, your mind is automatically going to start generating the answer. When you get that list together, what is and what isn't, stop what isn't and continue and do more of what is. Now, you always need to allocate a certain amount of time for test work, for trials and errors to be made, because you're going to have to step outside of just the specifics of what's working, because you may only have 1 or 2 things that's working right now. But once you grow and you start trying new techniques and learning new things, you're going to get a couple more things that are working. So you keep those, and you always find ways to make them better, because if it's working for you, chances are it's working for somebody else. I told you it's tens, hundreds of thousands of people out here wanting to do the same thing that you do. So if it's working for you, find a way to inject yourself into it. How can you find a way to put what's uniquely you, what can't be replicated by anybody? How can you find a way to inject that into what you do? Whether it's email marketing, okay, say it's email marketing. Well, what's the lingo that you use that you can put into your emails that nobody else is using? When people see it, they know who it's from. What type of videos do you shoot? What type of scenery is it that you put yourself around whenever you create your content? What type of content do you create? What are you known for? Me, myself, you see, I've took the podcast, and this is like one of my guaranteed sources of content this every week. You know what I mean? So this is kind of the platform that I built, and I did that because I figured out what my strengths were. You see what I mean? I figured out what my strengths were. Once I figured out what my strengths were, it narrowed the field for the things that I need to be focusing on. Yes, I'm good at writing, but I don't necessarily like to write. Yeah, I'm good at videos, but I don't necessarily want to put the time in to do the videos like that. But I'd much rather speak because I have a vocal gift, so to speak. You know what I mean? For microphones, for actual vocalizing what's on my mind. You know what I mean? And this was something that I had to work on. This was something that took me years and years and years. See, I worked on this subconsciously. I worked on this whenever I didn't realize that it was going to be ever a gift. You know, I worked on it because I was as a kid, I was the one who was really soft-spoken. You know what I mean? Like I was more of an observer than a initiator or a speaker or anything like that. But I noticed that from being that type of person, when I did speak, people wanted to listen. And I utilized that. And I got better at speaking. And I got better at putting the things that are in my mind into words and being able to vocalize them and speak them out to people. So for me, that just picking up on that end of the whole scale, for me, really amplified what I'm able to do now. And then came along the podcast platform. It's been around for a few years now, but you know, it's a great thing because it doesn't have to be live. It can be, you know, but it's something that people can always refer to, and it's great content for people to always be able to find. So that's something that's good. So it works great for me. But what works great for you? Are you better for video? Are you better for writing out articles? What is it? You know, if you want to find a new source of content that you know, I don't know what that may be, but you know what I mean? They come up with new stuff every day. So there's always a new way to figure it out. Maybe you're a designer. Maybe, you know, you speak through visuals. You know what I mean? Like maybe your content is delivered through visuals. Maybe you're someone who's got coding skills and able to build video games or something. You know how dope it would be to have a video game that's constantly updated every week, every 2 weeks or something, with new content for your stuff specifically? Yo, that would be dope. That would be dope. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, I just had that idea, and now I'm kind of hating that I threw it out there. But you know what? It's out there now. So it is what it is, you know what I mean? But seriously, though, these are the things, like, you have to think outside of the box, you know what I mean? My homie told me one time, man, that he's never seen what the outside looks like because he's always been outside looking at the box. You know what I mean? And I had to think about that for a second. I was like, but then as I thought about it, it made a lot of sense, you know what I mean? And I loved the way he worded that, you know what I mean? And that's kind of how I've always been myself. So, you know, it was just dope to hear him say that and say it that way, you know what I mean? But, yo, get your what's together. And literally, like, you need to possibly, if you have to, take a piece of paper, get your phone and open up your notes in your phone or whatever, you know what I mean? Voice memos, whatever you got to do, you know what I mean? And just think about these things. Like, what is it that you want to do? Even if you started your business, because we get to a stall point, like, what is it that you want to do? Because you don't want to be in the position of where what you're trying to do is so current that nothing else is being pushed forward. You want to have this stuff planned out futuristically, so that way when you get past this step that you're on, you know where you're going next, because you've already established what's next, because that's a crucial piece. What's next? Something else you should really focus on. You know what I mean? So, like I say, that's just the first W. We still got 4 more to go. And I'm telling you, they get more and more stronger the further we go with them. And like I said, I'm dropping these in order, so you already know, you know what I mean, like how they work and all of that other good stuff and rah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so whenever you figure out what you're gonna do, let me know how that goes for you. Let me know if you need some help. Maybe you need some help coming up with ideas for what you can do next, what's possible for you to do next. Like, because I know sometimes it can get rough. I ain't gonna lie, but I've built up a unique skill to be able to really come up with cutting edge ideas and help people out, really find ways to uniquely infuse themselves in their business and how to grow, within their business. That's something that I've had the pleasure of learning how to do. It wasn't an easy road, you know what I mean? It was something that took a little time, but it was something that I'm glad that I know how to do now. So if you need some help, please don't hesitate. You can hit me up at arson@powertohiphop.com. You can email me there, or you can find me on Facebook at Power to Hip Hop, or you can come at me directly, Leron, Lehron, Arson, Rson, Robinson, Robinson. You know what I mean? Kind of a long name, but we stick to Arson. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? You can find me on Facebook right there. Hit me up, shoot me a message, whatever. You know what I mean? If you need a website, because I haven't really talked about the websites too much, but I do actually build websites for producers and for artists, so you'll have a platform of your own, so you can sell your music without having to go through the hassle of dealing with third parties and giving up a percentage of the money that you've earned, you put in all the hard work for, and the only thing they allowed you to do was hold something on their website. We need to cut that out. It's a great resource when you don't have any other, but I've created a gap filler for that specific purpose. So if you're looking to get any websites done or anything like that, definitely hit me up. I personally build them. I can walk through it with you. I can teach you how to do it, however you want to do it. If you want to do it through a consultation route, I'm also putting together a very special site that's going to be for, it's going to have a third party atmosphere to it. I'm not sure how deep just yet we're going to go with it, but I know it's going to have all of the different templates that'll be available. I'm going to start creating like totally custom templates that you can, choose from and get your site built, and also do a custom thing. Maybe we'll see. Custom work's kind of difficult. I ain't even gonna lie. It can get a little headache. It can create a little headache, but it's still fun nonetheless. But I'll be sure to let you know whenever that's available and when that's open. And I'm also putting together a course if you want to go through and figure out how to build a website using WordPress and using a self-hosted site. If you want to figure all of that stuff out, I'm starting from scratch, from the beginning all the way up. And the questions that you have, I'll make videos for them, and we'll continue it. It'll be a membership thing. Available also that you can just continue, learning, and we'll continue building together and all of that great stuff. And who knows, this may be something that you'll be able to do and add as a service for yourself, and in your business. So if you got any questions about that, you can always hit me up. And without any further ado, I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap it up, because I got to go ahead and cook, man. Wife says she hungry, so I can't lie. I'm sitting here kind of hungry myself. But I got to tell y'all, man, I know I told you a little bit last week. You know what I mean? Your boy started working out and everything, man. I'm looking good. You know what I mean? I can see two out of the six. You know what I mean? I can see 2 out of the 6-pack. You feel what I'm saying? But nah, man, feel good, feel healthy. You know what I mean? Been eating real organic and just keeping it 100, man. So y'all keep praying for me. It's working. I'm gonna be real with you. But I appreciate the love, man, for everybody who takes the time to listen to me talk, to take the information that I give and really apply it and use it. And like I said, man, I would love to hear from a lot more of you guys who are actually listening and taking this stuff and to use and being able to use it and finding results from it, because that's really what makes me keep going with it, because I love seeing people get results from the things that, you know, I've told them or helped them with or have showed them how to do, you know. So definitely, please, just for to boost my ego a little bit, you know what I'm saying, like just let me know how this has affected you, how it's changed you, what kind of great changes it's made for you, what's working for you, what's not. And we'll see, you know, if we can't figure out a solid plan for you all the way around the board that'll really do it for your business. But I'm not going to keep going. I'm done. I appreciate you listening. Much love to you, man. Salute to you. Appreciate all the prayers, all the love, and everything else. You know what I'm saying? But as always, we got to end this on a note that's strictly for you, and you know what it is. And that is that you got this. You got this. You got this. This is your boy Arson, and I will get with you. Yeah, it is. Doses.